right, guys, we are bringing you a special video today. We have a special guest here and a very unique speaker system, and that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video. Hey folks, I'm Gene Delasala with Audioholics. We're here with Jeff Permanian from JTR, as you guys know it, but he's not here representing JTR today. He's representing RTJ. New speaker company formed by Jeff. These are the new super towers that we spent the last 2 days listening to, gawking over, enjoying, watching Dunn do his crazy dancing. We had a lot of fun here today. I want to talk to you guys about this speaker system and about this company. So Jeff, why do you have a company that is RTJ? Is it the evil nemesis of JTR, or what's the deal with that?
I felt like we were missing a whole segment of the market, and that's that custom install market. There's a lot of people out there that want their home theaters done. They hire a custom integrator to come to their house, design their theater, and JTR was more for the DIY crowd that were building their own theaters. So this is for the custom integrator.
Cool. So in other words, you would hire a professional installer. They would come and design the room for you and decide what kind of speaker system they would need to put in there, and they would do the entire calibration for you. Is that correct?
Right.
Cool. So why don't you tell us a little bit about this speaker system? Obviously it's modular, there's 3 pieces here. Tell me about this sub, because this sub is, let me tell you guys something, out of all the subs we've heard through Audioholics over the last 20 plus years, this is one of the most impressive subs I've ever heard. It's a single 18. The weird thing about it is the cabinet only goes about 15 inches deep. So when I first looked at it, I'm like, this thing can't do much, right? It's just a large driver in a small box. Boy, was I wrong. So why don't you tell us why this sub is so special? What the heck's going on with this driver? And why is it so heavy?
So when we were looking at what we want to do for the custom integrators, I thought one of the more important aspects would be a shallow depth, so people can really maximize the room size. So the lineup on the main speakers and subwoofers are all only 15 inches deep. They're 22.5 inches wide, the sub's 22.5 inches tall, and the 410's 44 inches tall. They're designed with cups on top and the isolation feet on the bottom, so they lock in together. The subwoofer features 36 millimeters of X-Max, and that is one-way linear. That's not a X-Mac or a maximum suspension travel or anything. The driver's suspension will actually travel 4 inches. And what's crazy about it is we have over a pound of aluminum in the motor. We've dropped the distortion down even farther than ever before. It's about 30% less than our reference series from JTR. Frequency response is now 465 hertz down to 20 hertz, and in room we were seeing 2 hertz in your room.
Single digits, yeah.
In Gene's giant room, we're seeing 2 hertz, and that was at LF adjust in the number 4 position. So
you, in order to play up to like 400 hertz, which you're not doing in the system, but it must be a pretty low inductance voice coil, right?
The driver actually has less than 1 millihenry of inductance.
Wow.
Yep. And we set up this system with the crossover point at 60 hertz between the subs and the towers. Well, loudspeakers aren't really towers.
Yeah.
And this speaker here features 410s. It's a true 3-way. I know it looks like a 2-way, guys, but there's actually a coax down in here. There's a mid-range and a tweeter. They're concentric and time-aligned. So no matter where you are in the room, you are equal distance. So we don't have any acoustic interference from the mid and tweeter being from different sources.
So why does the waveguide or the horn have to be so big? It's like 22-inch waveguide. What's the purpose of that?
Well, we're crossing over at 600 hertz. Most waveguides are good down to about 2 kilohertz and 1 kilohertz, but this is 600, so almost another whole octave is being covered by the horn.
So the cool thing about this system, guys, is the critical mid-range band, where we're most susceptible to hearing phase anomalies or frequency response issues. That's pretty much bypassed because this mid-range and tweeter is running full tilt, and there's no crossover points within that 200 hertz to 3 or 4 kilohertz critical band. Is that correct, Jeff?
Yeah, most people don't realize that, but we are super sensitive in that 1 kilohertz to 4 kilohertz range, and most loudspeakers crossover point runs right in the middle of that. So this has crossover points outside on both ends of that range that we're really super critical of.
Yeah, awesome. So is this driver, is this unique to RTJ?
Well, it was a driver that was developed for high-end studio monitors in Germany, and we're importing them. The rest of our speaker is made in the United States. Our subwoofer drivers, the mid-bass drivers, and all the cabinetry is done right here. All the crossovers are done here, hand-assembled. So that's the one component that is brought in.
And what are the boxes made out of? Because they seem very rigid, very inert to me. It's not MDF or HDF, right?
No, it's these are 24 millimeter Baltic birch. And if you don't know about Baltic birch, what it is it's on a 24 millimeter thick Baltic birch, you're seeing 18 plies. And it's all glued together with really high-end resin. And it is some of the truest and strongest plywood available in the world.
So it's really like built like a commercial product, like something that's really rigid, something that's...
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's built to last, basically.
Yeah, and we did everything that you'd see in a professional grade speaker. All the speakers are held on with T-nuts, with machine screws. There's no wood screws holding these drivers in.
What kind of output can you get? I mean, we were blasting in here to levels that I couldn't handle. And obviously the bass is like unadulterated bass like you've never heard. I mean, just to the point where we were going to blow a window out. Have you ever measured or calculated the max output, clean, distortion-free, that you could get out of a system like this to determine how big of a room you could actually put this in?
See, one of the things that people always comment about JTRs is they like, I always hear the term, oh, they sound like they have limitless headroom. And the reason why is because the speakers are so capable. You don't need all the horsepower, but what it does is it brings the distortion down. This speaker is capable of 131 dB program and 134 peak.
That's at 1 meter, 2
1 meter each speaker.
Wow, that's a lot. That blows away any like
it's
THX spec in terms of output. So just to give you guys a frame of reference, that's a lot of output.
Yeah, and people don't realize that you need 10 times the power just to gain 10 decibels. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people come to me, why do you need 1,000 watts or whatever? Well, a 100-watt system versus a 1,000-watt system is only 10 dB more. Mm-hmm. So when you're trying to, fill up a large space, you end up needing a lot of power real quick.
And these are very high sensitivity speakers. What is it, like in the 90s?
It's 97, 2 volt, 100, 2.83 volt. A lot of people expect 2.83 volt, but because these are 4 ohm, the 2.0 is actually a little more accurate, even though our own specs 2.83.
Well, that's 1 watt at 4 ohms, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about the electronics. Obviously, this system comes as a trio for each side. What about amplification? What does it come with as a whole package?
We sell everything individually. We kind of do that because we never know what the customer is going to need or want. So these speakers here sell for $7,999 a piece. So you can buy...
For the mid-tweeter, right?
Correct. And then the subs we sell either individually or in duals or in a quad pack. The single comes with a 2400 watt amplifier. It's external. That's one of the things that we talk a lot of integrators about, and they wanted. They wanted to have all the amps and electronics in their amp rack, all the power is there, short interconnects, easy to troubleshoot, servicing, everything like that. So we're doing all external amplifiers. The 2400 watts is at 4 ohms. This is a 4 ohm driver. The 2 subs, the dual, comes with 2 modules exactly the same, and the amplifier then has 2 of those 2400 watt modules built in. And then we also sell a quad pack. So it's 4 of these modules and a 8,000 watt amplifier. It's 4,000 by 2. So each one of the modules in this room is seeing 2,000 watts.
Okay, so you were talking about you have a quad pack, 4 subs, 2 amplifiers to get 8,000 watts? Or is
it's one amplifier with 2 4,000 watt modules. So you hook up 2 sub modules to each channel. So that's 2,000 watts per sub module. The single is $5,099, and the dual is $999.99, and the quad pack is $14,999.
So guys, you really need 4 of these subs in your theater room. Make sure you have...
Nobody needs 4, but it's fun.
Make sure you have adequate power. As I was saying, you could do 220 volt on these?
220 is optional. Right now, the 8,000 watt amplifier on a 120 circuit pulls 20 amps. The 2400 watts by 2 pulls 12 amps, and the 2400 watt by 1 pulls 6 amps.
Okay.
So you got to talk to your electrician and make sure.
Talk to your electrician, make sure you have adequate power running to your rack, because all of the amplification for this system will be rack mounted. There's no amplifiers built into the subs like the JTR stuff. So you want to make sure you have at least 2, maybe 3 dedicated outlets at your rack to provide adequate power, because we did some listening tests here. We wanted to get things going quickly. We plugged everything into 120 amp outlet, and we tripped a breaker constantly until we separated it out and we had an adequate power to reach the dynamics that this speaker is capable of.
To be fair, we did have a 1,000 watt monoblock on each loudspeaker and 8,000 watts on the subs. Oh, and the DSP and laptops and a few things on that circuit. So
do you have any particular favorites you like to pair this speaker with in terms of amplification? Obviously, you have your own amplifier for the subs, but is the Cherry amp kind of the amp of choice when you put this system together for people?
You know, everyone likes to ask me that question, and I don't like giving an answer because so many people have different opinions. They like different things. I don't want to tell you what you like. Personally, I have Cherries in mind. They're DC coupled and they're flat to 100,000 hertz, low distortion, and they're 1,000 watts apiece.
You can't beat that, guys. So overall, we are going to do a listening test in another video, but I just want to give you an overall impression of this system. I was impressed. It took away some of my preconceived notions that I had about horn-loaded speakers. Jeff and Matthew Pozos here, they did a great job calibrating this system. It sounded fabulous in this room, so we were very impressed. I like the fact that Jeff is targeting the custom integrated market, because I think that is a great market for you guys to be entering in that space. There's very few speakers that could play this loud, but also have good finesse, so you get the audiophile quality that you like in your recordings. It's not all about the loudness. So, I mean, obviously we like to listen loud, we like a lot of bass, but I like listening to jazz music, whether it's Pat Metheny or Norah Jones or anything like that. I like to hear all the details in the music, and with this kind of system being revealing enough, you get all of that, plus you get the overhead to really slam if you want. If you want to get Dunn dancing, this is the speaker to do it for. This is the Dunn model. So guys, I hope you found this video useful. We're going to be doing a separate video on the overall impressions that we got with this speaker. There's going to be a lot more coverage coming. Matthew Pose is actually going to be doing a formal written review with measurements, because you know how we are with measurements. We like to independently verify what we listen to. So please thumb this up. Please subscribe. Check out RTJ online. We'll put some links down below so you can see more product specs about this product. And don't forget about our Patreon channel at patreon.com/audioholics. We appreciate your support. You get direct access to me if you want to ask questions or suggest video topics. And until next time, my friends, keep listening. Jeff's kind of far away. Is he in frame?
Yeah. This is actually pretty zoomed out. Let's see what I got.
Okay. All right. Let me just think of how I'm going to do the intro. Okay, you ready?
You could powder it a little bit. You know.
Ready to knock this one out?
No.
We're ready. We're ready.
Of course, that angle is going to show the gut.
No, it's
Nice.
The glossy spots from our bold spots back here. Extra light reflection.
I softened the light, so it is.
For men, they're called pectorals.
That's good, yeah.
Now you have to make fun of you guys a little bit since you made fun.